Welcome to Bedtime Confession. In today's episode, I want to talk about how people pleasing is holding you back. People pleasing has been a phrase that I hear all the time. It's like, yeah, but I'm just a people pleaser. And I feel like people are using it as an excuse for not doing what's right or what they should be doing. And I'm like, can we please stop with that phrase? Yes, people pleasing is a thing. And let me define it for you if you don't know what people pleasing is. In my own personal definition, and not at all scientific or from Google, people pleasing is basically doing everything that is expected of us so that we can accommodate other people's feelings and make sure that we don't hurt their feelings. We make sure that they're happy, that they see us as a good person, that we stay in their good graces, whatever that expression is. But we basically try and stay on the good side of people. We never try to confront anything. We never try to stand up for ourselves. We always try to make everything good for the other people rather than what's right or what should be done, or sometimes confront someone else. Like, basically, people pleasing is pleasing people. It's making sure that we don't ruffle any feathers. Oh my gosh, I'm using so many metaphors right now. But it's basically making sure that everyone's happy, even if it means that it's at our expense. And said like that, I don't know if you caught it, but I think it sounds pretty toxic. Because like I said that people pleasing is pleasing everyone else. So make sure everyone else is happy and maybe at our expense. And we're going to dive into what those expenses are in this video. The first point that I want to emphasize is that when you try to please everyone, you're looking out at everyone but yourself. That means that you're constantly scanning and looking at opportunities where you can please other people or stay in other people's good side. And that means that you don't have any energy left for yourself. That means that you will make sure that your mom's happy, your dad's happy, your siblings are happy, your friends are happy, your colleagues are happy, whoever is happy. And then if it means that I'm not happy, then it's fine, because as long as everyone is happy, then I somewhat feel comfortable, I feel satisfied, because at least I appear as a good person to everyone else, and I'm kind to everyone else. I'm useful for everyone else. But what about you? What about you? And what about pleasing yourself? If people pleasing means pleasing everyone else but yourself, how miserable is that? Do you really truly want to live a life where everyone else is happy but you? I don't know about you, but I don't want that. And if that means that other people are unhappy by my behavior, as long as I'm being true to myself and a good person to myself, and consequently good to other people, then that's good enough. You don't need to go above and beyond to please other people, because they can do that themselves, They're responsible of their own happiness, their own behavior, their own pleasing. And you're responsible of your own, not of everyone else's. Because you're not their parents, you're not their teachers, except if you're a parent or a teacher. But you know what I mean? Like, you're not responsible for their own joy and happiness. If, as long as you show up authentically and as a good person in general, not with the intent of pleasing other people, but in general, then that is good enough. You don't have to please other people. The thing is, like, the main driver of people pleasing is usually the need of feeling needed, feeling like we are valued as a person, having that validation and satisfaction that we're helping other people. And sometimes those motivation to people please are not really healthy, because we're trying to accommodate everyone else to appease our own sense of worth. And you don't want that. You don't want your sense of worth to be tied to how much you can contribute to other people's happiness and joy. Because that means that you will always constantly try and fulfill that role for other people, but never for yourself. I think it's really time to focus inwards and start to realize how you can start pleasing yourself so that you don't have to compensate by people pleasing other people to find that validation of your worth in others. I don't know if that sounded complex, but as I was saying it, it sounded complex, but at the same time, it sounded so true. So listen to my word when I say people pleasing is not the solution. Because people pleasing at the end of the day is everything for other people, and then there's nothing left for you. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And to follow up on that point, the more you do for other people, the more you're going to lose yourself. Why? Because let's say that let's say that for you to people please other people, you have to show up as a different person. That means that every single day when you encounter those people that you need to change for, every single day you're wearing that mask, you're putting on another identity that is not true and authentic to yourself. And oh my gosh, how draining is that? It will take so much energy and willpower to show up as a fake person of yourself just for you to people please other people? Why? Why would you want to live like that? Instead, become the truest version of yourself, be authentic, be genuine, and show up as your true personality. And if those people don't like it, then they go. And then you find other people that will be pleased by the actual authentic version of yourself. Because living through a mask is not living. It's hiding in the shadows and living for other people. And we don't want that. We don't want that. So instead of wearing that mask, try and remove it slowly, progressively, and find yourself. Find who you are, who you want to be, the identity that feels most aligned and authentic to yourself, so that those people-pleasing tendencies are not there anymore. You won't feel the need to people please when you actually are aligned with who you want to be, because you will be so content with who you are, and you will find so much worth in yourself that you will not need to people please to find that worth externally. And what a beautiful compromise. What a beautiful compromise. So, start looking inwards. When it comes to people pleasing, a lot of the times you might cross some boundaries just for the sake of pleasing other people. But the thing is, like, those people will never cross their own boundaries for you. Is it selfish on their end? 100%. But the thing is, you're people pleasing them out of your own will. That means that they're not asking for it, right? They're not asking you to cross those boundaries. But internally, you're actually doing it on purpose because you want that satisfaction of feeling worthy by people pleasing. That means that you're doing it to yourself. You're actually crossing your own boundaries for people that would never cross their own boundaries for you. Let that sink in for a second. So basically, you're people-pleasing people, crossing your own boundaries, becoming miserable because you're crossing those boundaries, and then in a situation where you would want those people to cross boundaries or reciprocate for you, they would never do it because you were people-pleasing them in the first place, and they never asked for it. That means that, let's say you cross the boundary, and then you didn't like the outcome of crossing that boundary because of your people pleasing, and then you get mad at those people because you crossed your boundaries, but then they didn't really do anything. Like, you can't go to them and be like, oh, you made me do this. They would be like, no, you did it yourself because I don't know why, but you know why, because you were trying to people please. That's the problem. People pleasing is basically doing everything for other people without their own input. Like, they're not asking for it. And then you're basically compromising yourself for the sake of other people. But what for? There's no real reward The only reward out of people pleasing is just to feel good because you feel worthy. And that sense of validation, you can find it in other ways that are way healthier and way more productive and that will actually reward you. Because people pleasing has no ends. Like, yes, okay, maybe if you people please, you might get some opportunities, or you might get, I don't know, to be in a situation that you enjoy. But the thing is, like, it's not really authentic. Because if you have to be a different person, if you have to willingly compromise your own values, your own sense of self, your own boundaries, then how, like, why would you want that? I don't get it. To piggyback on that point, not only are you crossing your own boundaries, but you're dismissing your own emotions and needs to please other people who would not care about your own emotions and needs in the first place. You're literally compromising everything about yourself just to gain some sense of worth. No, let's stop this. Because people pleasing is, I wouldn't say disease, but it's like a mental muscle. The more you do it, the easier it is, right? The more you people please, the more you will want to people please, the harder it is to quit. But the second you start pivoting and slowly adapting that people pleasing tendencies and refusing to compromise anymore, the stronger your muscle will be to stop people pleasing. And it's possible. And let me tell you, a life without people pleasing, it's so much better. Because you're around people that are authentically themselves. You're authentically yourself as well, so you're happier. You're not compromising on your boundaries, so you actually have integrity for yourself. You have self-esteem because you keep those promises and you actually value yourself. You have confidence. You have everything. Everything that you want. You have so much more than that validation that you would get from people pleasing. So if you're a people pleaser, let's stop here because it's not worth it. It's not useful. And let's start changing. Because people pleasing is not something to be proud of. Being a people pleaser, whenever someone tells me like, "Oh, I'm a people pleaser," I'm like, "Oh. Okay. Let's," I don't know, but I try to like, I don't know, because the thing is like, I don't know why, like being a people pleaser just rubs me the wrong way, because it's like, oh, so are you trying to people please me right now? Like, are you being authentic or not? Like, I don't want people to be fake or to be a people pleaser towards me. I don't need to be pleased. Like, just be yourself, and if we match, we match. If we don't, we don't, and that's fine. It's better to find and to be authentic and to find the people that you authentically connect with rather than people please yourself into situations or into environments. Because at some point, the mask will drop. Something will happen and you will be like, God damn, I wish I never joined that group in the first place. Because that was not the group I wanted to be in. Or that was not the group that was fulfilling me emotionally. So why was there in the first place? Because you were people pleasing. So let's cut the people pleasing stage and then just be ourselves authentically and then just find our people. Find the right people. It's so much better. One major point I want to make in this video, and I think this is the most important one of them all, is that when you people please, you're basically, again, like I said, wearing a mask, right? But the thing is, if you're trying to people please everyone else, you're focusing on everyone else but yourself, is because you're hiding from actually dealing with your own life. That means that you're trying to like put aside everything that you have to work on, everything you have to change, and you're just focusing on pleasing every single person but yourself because you don't want to actually see the truth about your current circumstances. You don't want to actually deal with what you are unhappy about, what makes you depressed, what makes you a victim. All those things that are making you miserable, you're trying to cover those with the mask of people pleasing. You're trying to dismiss looking into your own life and solving your own problems, focus on everyone else and trying to solve everyone's problem and people please them, but you're not pleasing yourself because you're afraid to look in the mirror. You're afraid to see who you are and what you have to work on. And that's not good. Because the longer you do it, the harder it will be to look in the mirror. Focusing on everyone else but yourself will just create deep misery and insecurity in yourself. You want to start looking at your own life and look at the ways you can change and improve so that you don't have to look outwards to feel the validation, the worth. I think this is the biggest hurdle to overcome, is being able to recognize our own worth is so hard, especially when we come from families that did not appreciate our worth, did not tell us how good we were, or we didn't have that sense of validation at home, or all those childhood traumas and mindset that we cultivated at such a young age. So now that you're an adult, or now that you're a little older, it might be hard to understand your worth and how you can build it. But it's possible. You have to just take it one day at a time. You have to stop trying to fix everyone else's problem. And I did that for so many times. I would always ask people oh, what's wrong? What's going on in your life? Let me help you. But the thing is I was trying to distract myself from fixing my own life because I was too afraid to go inside my brain and figure out where I'm sad, or I was just so afraid of looking into my own mind and figuring out everything that was happening there, because it felt like it was so much that I had to deal with that instead of doing all that mental work, I just wanted to focus on other people. Because focusing on other people and helping them solve their own problems was so much easier than looking in the mirror and noticing how much trauma or how much work I have to actually do on myself. Because mental work is hard. Fighting your own brain or working against your own brain is a lot of effort. But that effort might take maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months, or 6 months. But after that, after all that mental work, it's like you're updating your software. So that means that once you have that update in your brain, it's there forever. So that means that mental work is just a few months of mental work and mental energy. But then after that, you have years of just freedom of thinking for yourself, pleasing yourself, actually focusing on yourself and creating the life that you want. But people pleasing, if you continue people pleasing, that's years of people pleasing. Rather than 6 months tops, I'm saying tops, of recovering from all that childhood programming of how you should feel about yourself, and just shifting that software in your brain to a software of feeling worthy, of feeling confident, of feeling that high self-esteem, of being disciplined, consistent, everything. And then years of freedom. Wouldn't you want that instead of people pleasing other people all the freaking time? I certainly would. The last thing I want to say is that people pleasing is actually selfish, because I think you've noticed in this video, I said a lot of time that you actually want to people please because you want to feel worthy by being kind and helping other people. That means that you're not really doing, yes, you're doing the people pleasing and helping others, so they're getting a benefit out of it. But deep down, you're actually doing it for yourself because you want that sense of validation. That means that you constantly want to help other people just for the sake of feeling better. So at its core, people pleasing is selfish, because you're doing it for the sake of them giving you that validation because you help them. And if you help them, you might get oh my gosh, thank you, you're so nice, I can always count on you. Oh, I love when you come and help me. You are so helpful. You are such a good person. All of those words, it feeds your ego. It feeds your ego. And what does the ego want? It wants more. That's the thing. The ego is so greedy. The ego wants all the praise, the validation, the sense of worth that it can get. That means that once you start getting it, you start people pleasing, you start getting the praise, everything, you want more and more and more. So you people please more and more and more. And oh my gosh, it's a vicious cycle. But we want to break that cycle. And to break that cycle, we need to look inwards and start doing the work. And yes, the work is hard, but it's worth it. So let me know if you want a video on how to actually do the work, because I could do that for you. I'm going to leave you at that. Stop people pleasing. It just take it one step at a time, day after day. You can start by setting some strong boundaries with people and then progressively pull back how much you give. I'm not saying like stop helping people. I'm just saying like stop doing it for the sake of feeling worthy. Try to think of ways you can help other people without compromising your values, your emotions, and your boundaries. Stop giving so much at the expense of losing yourself. That's when you fall into people pleasing, and that's when it becomes toxic. Because people pleasing at its core, it's not bad. Like helping other people is not bad. It's when you give yourself too much and you cross all of those things, the boundaries, the emotions, the needs, that's toxic. Because you're giving pieces of yourself for other people that wouldn't give back to you. That's the difference. That's when people pleasing is toxic. Is when you compromise who you are for the sake of other people because you want to feel a sense of worth. There you go. Simple as that. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was not too abstract. I don't know if I hit all the right point, but you know me and my bedtime confessions. This is just me rambling at night, so no structure, no Googling, no research. So take my word, don't take my word, but I hope you enjoyed today's bedtime confessions, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!